everyone and welcome to day one of the Maas Marathon. This week I'm going to be reading the entire Throne of Glass series and making a video for you every day on what I thought. It's day one and of course I started with the first book, which is Throne of Glass. Please excuse my very frizzy hair. I'm on holiday in Spain and the humidity has made it go crazy. So hot in this country. It's so hot in Spain right now that I was reading this by the pool and the silver sparkly etching started coming off onto my fingers, so now I have sparkly fingers. So let's start with the characters, and of course who else would we begin with but Selena. What a great character. I liked her from the second scene where after a year of slavery, being butchered and whipped and treated appallingly, she then has the audacity to not bow to the crown prince of Erelea. Immediately liking this girl. I think throughout the book, Sarah J Maas made her character have so many more dimensions by giving her flaws. So of course we love her because she's cool and stealthy and feisty, but we also see her character flaws. She's vain, she's arrogant, she's obsessed with the way that she looks. She's just really human. That being said, sometimes I was a little bit surprised how emotional she was and how easily she confessed things about herself to Dorian and Shoul. Please correct me in the comments if I'm not saying his name correctly. I'm going to call him Shoul. Sometimes she was almost humanised too much for me. I wanted her to be a little bit more ruthless because after all she is an assassin. But I did really like Selena and by the end of the book I was rooting for her. Moving on to Dorian. Dorian to me was a little bit too petulant. He has a difficult relationship with his father, but then so does Shoul, and Shoul just removed himself from the situation and forged his own life, whereas Dorian seems to just be complaining about it and looking for distractions. I did not ship Dorian and Selena. He was just looking for distraction, she was just looking for something. Maybe they didn't fit together very well from the beginning. Also, this is the third book I've read by Sarah J Maas and I knew it wouldn't be that easy. Sarah J Maas puts her protagonists through the ringer. She does not give them an easy time, so of course as soon as Selena falls into the arms of the Crown Prince, I'm thinking that's not going to be a happily ever after. She is not going to have a romance story that easy. Didn't trust it from the beginning. No, didn't trust it. So moving on to Shoul, really interesting. I feel like he's a lot more complex than Dorian and has a lot more going on behind the eyes. Therefore, I think he fitted well with Selena because they're both quite complicated humans. I was team Shoul as soon as they started training together and he was a lot more present in her life. And as soon as we got to the final test, I was like, team Shoul, yes! He goes to her when she needs him and rouses her enough to win the final test in the competition, whereas Dorian just sits there doing nothing. The most interesting supporting character to me in this book was Nehemiah. I do think that she's genuine and that she's going to be Selena's closest friend, but I don't think she's being 100% honest with everything she knows and why she's in the castle. So let's talk about the action in this book. Because of all the tests that they're doing with the competition, the action was really good. There was always this suspense hanging over the whole book because there was always another test that they had to do and you always knew a really good action scene would be coming up. That being said, a few action scenes happened when I wasn't expecting them. Like when Selena met Cain in the chambers with the Riderack and it bit her. That was really cool. So to finish off some of the details that I really liked in this book or thought were noteworthy was the reference to Cinderella. I was reading about this book and Sarah J Maas apparently has said that this was heavily influenced by Cinderella and that when she watched the Disney film she thought that the music was so dramatic and sinister it didn't really fit with the plot, so she imagined Cinderella as an assassin fleeing a ball. And having that in my mind reading it, I noticed the little references she made to that classic fairy tale, such as Selena's dress, it was blue. Did anyone pick this up? I did, and I was thinking, Cinderella, Cinderella. Mythology played a really important role in this book. The stars and destiny seem to pop up a lot in Sarah J Maas's writing, and she often personifies them. So when Selena is on her way to the castle at the start of the book, she says the stars who gazed back rather than that gazed back. So it makes you think that destiny and magic and stars have some impact on the book, which I really liked. In terms of mythology as well, at J Maas, when Selena is given an arrow by one of the children in honour of Diana, the goddess of hunting and maidens, I immediately thought in my mind, of course, Diana, the goddess of hunting, who has a bow and arrow in Greek mythology. And I thought those little references were really nice. I have a theory after reading this book, and I might be completely wrong, but I was thinking that this book could be what happens after the ACOTAR series. So that's all I have for you for book one. So book one, day one of the Sarah J Maas Marathon has been completed, and tomorrow we're going to talk about Crown of Midnight. I have to go and read this book now so I can be done by tomorrow evening and make you another video so that the next day you have another video about what I think of this book. I'm going to end this book talk here so I can start reading the second book. So I'll say goodbye, see you in my next one, have a lovely day.